Ah, it's good. Get some of that gunk off my eyes. When the sun's at its height, at the peak, I wouldn't suggest doing that, taking in the sunlight directly with the eyes until you build up to it, until you build your eyes up to it. And that can happen over time with just taking it in slowly over time while toxins and chemicals get out of the body as well. Then you can be able to take in the sunlight directly. It'll interact with the photoreceptors back in the pineal gland. You'll get light, the light in and throughout the body, natural light in a good way that's good for the eyes. Though, if you're already suffering from a lot of damage due to the screens over years like I was, your eyes might be in bad shape at the start and might have to start slowly taking in the light. Stop looking at the dangerous LED lights of the screens. Get chemicals out of the body. Get natural sustenance from the earth, fruits and vegetables in the body. And over time, the body will heal and return to a natural, organic state inside. As you come to realize and learn about your own functionality, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and tie yourself all together into unity inside. Then right and wrong is no longer confusing. Rights are no longer confusing. You know where rights come from. You know what right and wrong is. You know what your rights are. Anything you want to do that doesn't cause harm, that comes from the Most High. And our ability to control that and control ourselves and know ourselves to a point we can govern ourselves, which also means control, govern. It's how you achieve self-governance, self-control. By getting the toxic information, ideas, beliefs, images put into the imagination from the imaginations of others, get those out of the mind. Regain your own ability to think, define things, and then also picture things with your own imagination, to see reality clearly, to know it's real, to know it's not an illusion, it's not a dream, there's not multiples of them, or here you are, wherever you are, there you are. So once you find yourself, feel yourself, because that's the thing. Of those five senses, 4 of them control most of us, and it's been on purpose. The music, the TV, the programming, the education system, so-called, medical system, all these different systems that are all set up. They get you to believe in them because that's all you see and hear about. That's all you're taught about in an incorrect way. So then you have a false image of your mind. So really, what you're picturing all these systems to be, they're really not. They're externalizations, all of them, of all of your own abilities. They've just made it seem like you have to go to others. That keeps you from knowing yourself, from being able to teach yourself. So you become a student and a teacher in yourself, of yourself, at all times. That takes care of education. And in that, and knowing that, you can teach your offspring, which I was not able to do because I was a failure as a father, as I've spoken about before. I guess this just turned into a video all of a sudden, sort of. I had no plans to really do this. Anyway, knowing your own biology, your own physiology, how your body and your mind work together in your heart, that takes care of the need for a so-called external health care, because then you become your own physician, so to speak. You can heal yourself when you learn how you work and function and operate, and you actually heal from the damage that you might have unknowingly done to yourself, as I did, or knowingly at times also by continuing, like in my case, knowingly consuming toxins. Toxic food, drink, all the packaged, processed, chemical-laden junk, along with the consumption of large amounts of alcohol for a long time, which I knew was bad for me, and all the other things. Anyway, over time, with getting those things out and returning to a natural state, yeah, you can heal from so many things that supposedly can't be healed from. So anyway, what else? Just by knowing where right and wrong comes from, that's imbued, and all these abilities are imbued in us, that we all have these abilities to be found waiting inside by the Most High, or the creator of this place that we're all in, whoever did it. No man or woman did, though they'll try to pretend they did or can, or, you know, they make up whatever imaginary crap they tell you about it. Fact is, at that level, it's beyond all of us. But you can know. You can know inside, and you can find enough proof by looking around and feeling within that there is. And then that's a humbling place inside to find. Because then that becomes the ultimate authority that helps one govern oneself, to know that, oh, the only authority above me is the same authority that's above every single other man or woman out there. And the ones that don't know better yet are only playing a game and faking it. They're faking a role of false authority that isn't real. And they're causing a lot of harm to themselves and others that follow them, because the others haven't found how to lead themselves properly. They think they have to look to someone else to do it. But in knowing that and feeling that inside, that humbling spot of we're all brothers and sisters, so to speak, that have done so many terrible things to each other and are continuing to do so for whatever unnecessary reason, because evil is not a necessity. Though it is necessary to be recognized so one can stop the evil that they're doing. I recognize that in myself deeply. That about killed me physically. It should have. And I deserved it anyway. Where was I going? Well, it takes away the need for the spiritual mediator. I was going to get to that. So, government, religion, healthcare, all these systems, all these things, they're all just externalizations of you. To keep you from knowing you, to keep you externalizing everything, to keep your imagination literally programmed with the images of how they want you to see yourself in reality and those around you. Nothing but labels, compartmentalizations, and just really a lack of unity inside each, and you can see it play out in them, especially with this stuff. Take the mask off. Stop depriving yourselves of oxygen. Deprive yourself of oxygen, well, that causes all kinds of problems within the body, because every system within the body needs oxygen. Stop breathing in carbon dioxide that you're breathing out. This is on purpose. It's to get you to suffocate yourself, to literally choke yourself of oxygen. And it's not with their hands, not to make a movie image, but it's with your hands, because you're putting these things on and then walking around exerting yourself, not getting the proper amounts of oxygen for long periods of time. Why? Due to incorrect belief, and it's harmful. Stop, please stop following along. All these old lines and things they're putting on the floor, stop following within their lines and their guidelines and their rules, because they are ruling you, and they are causing terrible harm with just spreading misinformation, disinformation, and false belief. These electromagnetic weapons all around you are going to kill you, because those affect your body, all the systems within your body as well. That, along with the injections that are coming, all of it needs to be considered and known and stopped now, and can be. Each can stop. In every little part of all of the externalized systems, whichever one you're in. No matter what labels you assign to yourself or pick or serve, you're serving a master. And if that master is this beast system, you're in it right now. So you can stop everything that's happening right now. Each has that ability. Every single man and woman walking the face of this place right now. Under maybe the face of God, you could say, up to where we can't get to what's very much above us, and maybe looking down on each and every one of us right this moment, right into the inside, to the core of you, to see if you know you yet. Have you found the I within you, and can you stand in that I of you and speak for yourself and say, I do not agree, I do not consent, I will not wear a mask and suffocate myself, deprive myself of oxygen. Why? Because I know better, because I'm not a slave, and because I do not serve your master. I do not agree with all this weather manipulation, all this bastardization of nature and ideas and life in every single way, shape, and form. It's all nonsense. All the language tricks, all the tricks with symbols, with symbolism, with the externalization of one's own deeply layered archetypal manifestation of them inside their mind, body, and soul, each and every one of you, because I don't know you. I can only know me. I came to find. But from knowing that clearly, with clarity, to know I was more than what I was taught I was, and to live in that place, in that space, inside me, not controlled by their beliefs, by discarding their beliefs and coming to know better on so many things, and then actually trying to convey that information clearly, with clarity, with depth to others. It's all I can do. It's all each of us can do. Many are doing it, and I hope many more get involved really quickly. Because the ones that have been doing it, I'm sure a lot of us feel the same way, that we're only repeating ourselves. What is going to stop all of this that is happening and is coming is the recognition of how we got here, how each of us got to where we are right at this point, to see it was all a setup. So stop playing along. It's the only way to stop it. You have to find you. You have to know you. Once you know yourself fully and deeply, concisely, with clarity and unity inside, and where you stand under the Most High, that's all you have to know. But you have to feel that. Because like I was going to say, with those five senses, they get you with the sight, the smell, the taste, and what you hear from these addiction-causing different versions of twisted information sorcery that comes in. So it clouds the mind and clouds one's own perception of itself. Not to call anyone an it. I'm just trying to speak in general terms that would fit for a man or woman or child. Because each is supposed to go through this growing process inside. That's something I just came to know. That it took me until I was about 40 to actually grow up. Mentally grow up. Spiritually grow up. And that's a process. That's a process of the discarding of a bunch of nonsensical belief that each has to do inside. And gain full recognition of the world, reality, what they are, who they are, and that this is real and they're physical. And that's what that fifth sense of feel. Because you have to feel that. You have to feel that throughout you and in you to know that. You have to feel that to a point to where you find peace there. So you're no longer at war in your mind. The war of contradiction. The war of contradictory thought and belief and images playing out that make it hard or almost impossible to discern reality for what it truly is, with simplicity, with clarity, with unity inside, to see how it's all playing out and to not be a part of playing an act within it, but to be within it to help others try and see that the act that they've been taught and trained to play is just an act, and they can snap out of it too. And that's how this all stops and gets turned around because it's going to get much worse, much faster with these electromagnetic weaponry devices. That's the near future, along with ready-made poison that you may not be able to recover from. So recover now, know now, feel now. Find a higher authority over you while you can, I would suggest. Is maybe that's a good way I could put it. Find that higher authority that's above all. Not just you, but all of this. And know that that authority exists. And to go against that authority by following the false authority of some man or woman telling you something, someone in a costume, someone part of some system, someone with some labels or some lingo or some jargon to make them sound a certain way, that's not the way. They don't know. Too many of them don't know what they're even saying. They don't comprehend it. They only have a surface layer idea or image in their mind of the words they're speaking, and they think they're right. It's for you to know better so you can calmly explain to them that they've been tricked, that they're not operating as a man or a woman or child under the Most High. Most are acting like adults with a childish mindset, a childish mentality that's been trained into them on purpose by the ones ultimately that are causing all of this mayhem to play out. It's men and women. Don't get lost in aliens and demons and nonsense. Men and women are doing this to themselves and each other. Simply with communication. The communication of messages and symbols. Every single number, letter, image, everything, it's all symbols. And if you haven't tied together the archetypes within you, your mind, body, your spirit, your combination of masculine and feminine energy, the energy of protection and care, in stewardship of life, in knowing and feeling of life. I don't know where I was going. But if you haven't gotten there yet and tied that together in you into a place of humility under the Most High, however you might deem that, then you haven't, in my opinion, quite unified enough and are still maybe a partial prisoner of mind, of the thoughts that someone else instilled into you, or the pictures or beliefs someone else instilled on whatever given topic or subject or symbol you want to associate those words with. Have to tear away from the programming. It's an addiction. It's a destructive addiction that keeps one from internalizing oneself fully and finding unity and peace within. And each has to heal from that on their own. No one can do it for you. There's no shortcut, but the shortcut and the magic of it all is that it's in its simplicity. By the simple denial of things. It's not the addition or adding of a magic pill, a magic remedy, or anything like that. It's simply cleaning out toxins. And you can do that by the denial of toxins and addictions. Whether it's addictions to chemical-laden processed foods and meats and things, or poison drink, or sugar, a terribly destructive drug that affects all the systems within the body and feeds disease, dis-ease. If you're in a state of dis-ease, you cannot be at that state of inner peace. So deny yourself these addictive chemicals and sugars and toxins, alcohol, all these things that are so destructive. With the denial of addiction comes withdrawal, of course, so that's the painful part. But by denying yourself is how you gain mastery and control of your own mind, of your own body. To not be controlled by the mind and those four powerful senses of sight, smell, sound, taste, because you just want to feed addictions and see addictions and hear addictions that confirm your beliefs. By denying yourself all of that and cutting away and coming into yourself, you can focus on that very, very important sense of feel, because you can feel within and throughout the entirety of your being. It's not just about the mind. Once you can feel the fullness of you, the fullness and the density of you, that you're here in your physical, and the 3D mind spell breaks and you realize that's only linked with depth, and linked with depth and volume and mass of a body of flesh and blood in this metaphysical existence of physicality here. Well, that's 5 dimensions easy. So many misconceptions and mind traps to break out of that happen just with words and images. So become you. Solidify. Become the physical living man or woman that walks the face of this world for yourself under the Most High as your authority, knowing right and wrong, and try to convey it to others so they can feel it, because that's the thing. Because the folks that are under the control of others' thoughts and imaginations that are under mind control, government, that word, control, mind, of course, over and over and over, so many are saying it, but it's for the others that don't quite comprehend that with depth and clarity yet. That is what will fix the picture of what they think government is, to then see it for what it truly has been all along, not just what it is right now, but what it's been all along. And that is just a part of the same thing that's happening with every other thing. Religion, education, all this compartmentalization, externalization of you and your own abilities and what you can do or could do. Were you only able to put your mind and your energy to your own matters, to what matters to you in the matter of you, your physical matter. So it all matters in a much more metaphysical way, I would say. Every single thought and action you do, especially right now. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't plan to make that a video, so now I guess I'll have to try and cut something together out of this. But anyway, yeah, thanks for listening. And the reason I haven't talked much also is because, like I labeled the title of my last one, all I can say is, like I said, I feel like I'm just repeating myself, and I don't want to mislead anyone or guide anyone in the wrong direction unintentionally. Oh man, it's tiresome to hear or see that so many others are still misguiding and misleading folks so many times unintentionally, just because they haven't bothered to fully know and grasp themselves yet and regain their own thoughts and imagination, their own heart, their own compassion and empathy, and really feel what that means every single breath, and realize the need for that breath, that oxygen, and the water within the body, and for that to be in harmony. Like, I mean, folks are still looking at, I can't say, I'm not trying to point the finger, I can't say what folks are looking at. Yet I know what that sorcery of the programming, the TV programming that just plays and plays and plays. Oh man, it is keeping folks trapped in someone else's mind. and they don't even realize how much they've externalized themselves, their power, their energy, their authority, what they are. Just by unknowingly, blindly following. Because that's what it is. Folks don't even know that they're following blindly, and that those they're following are absolutely blind. In a spiritual sense. Because anyone that does gain that ability inside them with work over time, with your own energy of self-mastery of your thoughts, to be able to feel them play out, to recognize thoughts and images as they come into the mind, and be able to stop them, or act on them, or not act on them. But to not feel them in a way in the heart to where it works one up in an angry sort of way, excited sort of way, is to be able to feel balanced and be able to use the mind to think about and picture and conceptualize things, and while being fully aware in the moment, in reality, as one exists in it. So one can be aware and react to whatever's going on around. But if the mind is constantly playing images of movies or TV shows or stories or nonsense or whatever, takes you out of the moment. Because a portion of your senses, of your sensory ability is now gone, because the mind is running and looking at images that has been fed into it over a lifetime. And getting that toxicity out simply takes cutting away from it. And then simply sitting and distilling knowledge inside. All the stuff that was fed in over a lifetime, and then working to feel what it means and discarding the nonsense. That works by not consuming further nonsense during that process. Because consuming further nonsense during that process of trying to find unity within to gain full control over the mind and the senses, that just leads to further externalization, and it holds up the process inside. And I only say it like that after having gone through it over a period of months and a couple of years, or whatever. It's a process. Life itself is a process. We're all in it. We're all in it right now. Here I am just rambling now. Sorry, I just got to rambling, so this probably won't, a lot of this probably won't get put in. So I can make it something kind of short, maybe. I don't know. Just put something out there. So anyway, yeah, thanks for listening.